This old prisoner ate his noodles halfway through. Suddenly he picked up a noodle and stretched it under the table. The new guy Nick was quite puzzled when he saw this, so he curiously lowered his head to check what was going on. It turned out that the old man who was sentenced to life imprisonment secretly kept a little mouse that had also lost its freedom. This scene immediately shocked Nick, because he also didn't want to lose his freedom forever. After thinking for a moment, Nick with an IQ of 250 immediately came up with a bold plan. He took advantage of the prison guard's distraction, secretly rubbed his spoon hard on the sole of his shoe a few times. Then with a calm expression he called over the guard, saying that his spoon was too dirty, and he wanted to exchange it for a clean one. The guard, hearing this, was about to refuse, but John, who was nearby, quickly stepped in to help. He said he couldn't use a spoon to eat noodles, so he also wanted to exchange it for a pair of chopsticks. The guard couldn't think of a reason to refuse at that moment, so he agreed to their request. The two calmly went to the serving counter. John greeted the guard enthusiastically. To distract him, Nick took the opportunity to swap out his spoon, but no one noticed. He actually took to spoons. After returning to the cell, Nick immediately took action. He placed a bundle of matches into an iron can, then snapped off the handle of the spoon, and took apart an ale clipper. He used a small file to grind a magnesium coin. Moments later, he had some magnesium powder that could burn. Then he lit a match, used the magnesium powder to weld the spoon's handle and the small file together. And the reason he did this was simply to get a handy escape tool. It turned out that on Nick's first day inside, he had secretly stolen a nail clipper from the warden. During their face-to-face meeting, after returning to his cell, he started thinking about how to escape. Just when he had no idea, he suddenly saw a cockroach crawl into the ventilation pipe. Nick immediately came up with an idea. He hurriedly crouched by the hole to observe. This prison not only old, but also built on an island. The building materials had long been eroded by moisture and salt, and had become extremely fragile. So Nick used the nail clipper to slowly dig every night. But since the nail clipper was too small, after digging for several days, progress was slow, and his hands were badly scraped. So he used the spoon in the nail clipper to make a more effective digging tool. This tool did improve the digging efficiency. Just when Nick was excitedly digging the hole, a prison guard suddenly came to check the cells, but Nick didn't notice at all. At the critical moment, the inmate in the next cell quickly knocked on the door to warn him. Nick instantly became alert, hastily outside his suitcase to cover the hole. He then dumped the excavated debris into the toilet and quickly lay back down on the bed. But because he was in a rush, carelessly dropped the file on the floor. He originally wanted to pick it up quickly, but the guard was already at the door. Nick had no choice but to feign calm and spoke to the guard, and that file was right under the guard's nose. If he saw it, the consequences would be unimaginable. Fortunately, this guard was nearsighted and didn't notice the file on the floor. After he left, Nick thanked his cellmate and then continued digging. A week later, the hole was dug to a suitable size, just enough for Nick to crawl out. But now there was a bigger problem. The iron bars were welded onto two iron bolts. Nick couldn't pry them open by hand no matter how hard he tried, unless he had a suitable tool. The next day, Nick was about to go to the workshop. He took advantage of the warning guard's distraction and scattered all the construction debris in his pockets along the way. While working